In this lesson, I want to introduce you to our in-browser IDE. It's a space where you can practice what you learned or get a grade for a lab that you just completed. But essentially, we want you to get as much hands-on practice and learning as possible, and that's what this is for. This is an example of an in-browser IDE lab. There's the title of the lesson and then the problem description. In this particular case, it's an ungraded problem. So as this description says, practice what you learned in earlier lectures and maybe even find answers to some of the quiz questions. So this is your sandbox playground space. Scrolling down, I get to the actual in-browser IDE. Let's examine it a little closer. There are multiple tabs and windows in this one little area. So let's go from left to right. This highlighted area in green is where you get to browse the files. The files that are given to you by the lab or by the instructor that usually have something to do with the instructions above the actual IDE space. You can switch between the files that were given to you, and the file contents will be displayed on the right side over here, which is your code or text editor. This you can use as an actual editor. You can edit these files as you like. And the changes will stay here unless you reset the workspace, which you can do by clicking this button right here. Now, when I look back at the file that I just edited, 0.6 is no longer there. So the workspace was completely reset with what it was originally configured to hold. The files given to you may not always be just plain text files, like in this case, where we're just looking at problems that were referenced earlier in the chapter so that you can practice them. You could also have JSON files or snippets of other types of files that you can edit in the code editor on the right. You can also collapse the browse files functionality and just have a little more space for editing the files. Another functionality that the in-browser IDE has is the terminal window. If you're looking to issue shell commands, this is the space for it. Here I can issue any shell command that I want for the purposes of this course. So I can try to issue the Mongo command and hope that it is installed. The shell is actually installed, but I didn't provide any other argument, so I get an error. If this is a graded assignment, then there will be some test cases that will run against your solution. So after you complete following the instructions in the lab, you could hit the Run Test button, and the test results tab in the terminal part of the screen will show how many tests were run, how many tests were passed, and how many tests were skipped. And if this is a graded assignment, you will get feedback on your solution. As you can see, this assignment is not graded, and because there are no past tests, the message is telling me, incorrect, try again. But I don't care, because I'm not getting a grade for this. I'm here to practice and learn from that. Make sure when you get to an in-browser IDE lab to check whether the assignment is graded or not, and to carefully read the instructions that are provided for you on the page. I hope you enjoy learning with us, and good luck.